Hello. We'll have to stop meeting like this in this hotel. If you've been following the worldwide efforts, because they are, to silence me and what I'm saying, then you might remember that I sat in this airport hotel in Los Angeles, looking out the runway there, a few weeks ago now, recording a video describing how the Australian government had revoked my visa after months and months had passed after they gave me the visa. They revoked it 4 hours before my plane left over there to start a speaking tour of Australia. We legally appealed against the judgment, and they've not even bothered after all this time to even reply. So that's the kind of contemptuous mentality that is running Australia. Now I sit here again. I sit here again in the same hotel after another story that is really extraordinary. It's extraordinary in what happened, and it's extraordinary in the utter contempt that these people I'm going to talk about have for freedom of speech, and for the audience who had bought tickets for an event here in Los Angeles tonight in Santa Monica at the Aero Theater, which is owned by a company apparently based in Hollywood called American Cinematique. Lovely people. And it was supposed to be an event, hundreds were coming, to see the Los Angeles premiere of a movie about my life called Renegade. We had a premiere in Manchester in England, went fantastic. People absolutely loved the film. And then we went down to London, and we were going to have the premiere in London at a venue owned by the TUC, the Trade Union Congress, supposed to represent the working people, you know, what unions used to be like. And we were coming down on the train from Manchester, and about an hour before we got into the station at Euston, just the day before the premiere, these TUC venue owner people contacted us and said, we're pulling the event. Because they said, we believe in inclusivity. And they said that in an email excluding me and excluding a movie of my life. Anyway, we found another venue very quickly. By the time we got to London, we found another venue, and it went ahead, and it was brilliant, and people absolutely loved the movie. So then we came over to Los Angeles, where tonight there was going to be a premiere at this Aero Hotel in Santa Monica, owned by American Cinematique. And it had been booked for months, like 2 months or so, and they'd been sent the movie, so they knew what the movie was about, me and my work. And we were driving down to the theatre for a technical run through, make sure everything was working. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon. People were due to arrive at 6:30, and 5 minutes before we arrived, it was at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, they rang the producer of the film and said, we're cancelling. And I have to say, you know, the representatives of American Cinematique were absolutely horrible. There was a woman, and particularly a man, and they were horrible. And apparently they'd been having discussions about whether I should be allowed. After all these weeks that it's been booked, and people obviously were on their way by then, a lot of them, because Los Angeles is a major big place over a very large area, and the traffic is so appalling, you have to leave for places a long time before you need to get there. And that's the reason we haven't been able to get another venue, is because they told us so late, and Los Angeles is so big. Anyway, this is what happened. This is the absolute level of contempt and absolute disgusting behaviour that you're dealing with. They actually said to the producer on the phone when he was saying, look, I make movies about loads of different subjects, and I would never make a movie about what's being alleged about David Icke, so obviously there's nothing about that in the movie at all. And they said to him, is it a film about David Icke? Yeah. Does it put him in a good light? Well, yeah, he comes across well, yeah. Well, not having it then. So now, as I'm recording this, we've tried to contact, ticket holders to warn them, but a lot of them will have left. But American Cinematique and the Aero Theatre in Santa Monica couldn't care less. Just like the TUC couldn't care less in London at the inconvenience they would have caused so many people had we not been able to get another venue. As they couldn't care less, in terms of the Australian government, of the thousands of people who bought tickets for that speaking tour. They have contempt for you, all of them. And where are the mainstream media in calling this out? Nowhere. Because they want to demonise me as much as these other expressions of the authorities around the world. So, here we have a movie, Renegade, which is about my life and work. And they are now trying to stop anyone seeing it. They are seeking to have my public events all over the world banned. I'm one man who is a member of no organisation, no movement, nothing. I work alone in terms of what I do. And for so many years, God, more than a few, I was portrayed as this nutter, this crazy man. Oh, midlife crisis. Oh, he's mad, him. Let's all laugh. But the madman wouldn't go away. And started putting out information which is getting more and more detailed and being proved all the time to be right by unfolding events. And now I've gone from being mad to being dangerous and thus must be silenced. Well, there's actually a reason why they want to silence me. And it's because what I'm saying is true. What they're saying I'm saying is completely misrepresented and they just lie. But what I'm actually saying, which is what they're really trying to silence, is true. And that's why they perceive me as dangerous. Because I'm putting out information across a massive range of interconnected subjects and enormous amounts of supporting evidence that is exposing who really controls the world and to what end. And they are desperate for that information not to circulate, not least because of the massive number of people worldwide who are now looking at my books and my information, etc., in its various forms. And so they have to try to silence me. And whether it's the Australian government or whether it's the Trade Union Congress in Britain, oh my goodness, representatives of working people, you are a disgrace to working people. Just another working people organisation that's just another mouthpiece and expression of the system. And now, here, on the other side of the world, not quite the other side of the world like Australia, but a long way across the world from where I live, you now have the Hollywood establishment wanting to stop members of the public using their basic human right to come and watch a movie. When you think of all the things that movies are made about, all the horrible things that movies are made about, all the horrible people that movies are made about, and they're fine. But what about me? No, got to stop people seeing it. And perhaps it will dawn on even those who've got so much fun out of ridiculing me over the years, and so much dismissal. What he's saying is crazy. Maybe it might even dawn on some of them to ask the question, why? Why do all these different organisations and authorities all over the world want to silence this guy? What's he actually saying then? That's what happens when you're a renegade. When you won't be cowered into compliance. When you speak your truth and not someone else's. They have to silence you. Because maybe others will want to do it. If the example is set. So, it's good really in a way, because it will get an even larger number of people to watch the movie when it is available on June the 4th. And when they watch it, they will see that actually what they're saying about this guy is actually not true. No, they're lying. Because they have to lie. If they told the truth, they couldn't get my meeting stopped. And they'll also see the information that the authorities absolutely don't want you to see. And we must turn these setbacks, these challenges, into something positive. And this is a film, Renegade, they absolutely don't want you to see. They don't want you to read my books. They don't want you to see me speak in public events. They don't want any of that. Because what I'm saying is true. And that is why they think I'm so dangerous.
People say I talk about some weird stuff, some far out stuff. But how about that chair that you're sitting in isn't solid? How weird is that? This reality is nothing like we think it is.
When I saw what Icke is doing, I was a bit jealous on him. Wow, look at what this guy's doing.
I don't know if anybody else could do it but him, actually.
We are in a period now where speaking your truth is not just important, it's utterly crucial to where humanity goes from here. The world needs renegades, and it needs them now.